the virus boat sits there for 5 years, 6, 7 years on the lot, along with the old benthic, the other hull's still there. And we do one little sequence for Len Wiseman on the first Underworld, which is it's a Jaguar. It curves and then it flips and goes into the water. Well, that was done in post, and they had up to the curving, close shot in Budapest of it curving on the rain slick streets. They didn't have anything else. And James McQuaid, who was one of the associate producers on it with Lakeshore, who had already known from Arlington Road, we'd done that, and Mothman Prophecy is a bridge, and he knew we could do it. And he called me and he said, "We got this one sequence. I'll send you the footage. Can you give me some numbers on?" And so I give him numbers and everything, and how I'm going to do it, and something like 5, 6 shots. And I look at the stuff, and then I said to James, "James, but that shot where they come out of the water and they swim over to it's supposed to be I said, that's bad. You don't want me to crash. The set looks like a Disneyland bad theme park. I mean, really bad." He says, "Yeah, I know. It was we built that in Budapest on a stage. And they didn't really do a very good job on that. It's the only shot. The rest of the scene plays out underneath the dock, and that looks fine. But that shot where they come up out of the water and swim over, since you got to do the flip and all that you could build a whole thing and then shoot us a plate, and we'll composite them into your model, because the real thing looks really bad." And I said, "Yeah, good, thanks." I was hoping that you were going to tell me I had to match that, because that's usually what we have to do. You're doing your models, you match what the live action is, and if it doesn't look great, and I've had to work on pictures like that, where I had to make something that didn't look really great, because that's what it looks like, not really great, but that's what you got to do. So we were able to make it look really, really good. And so I had like 2 conversations, maybe 3, with Len Wiseman on the phone. He never came over or anything, because he was busy on finishing the movie. And then we shot the sequence. I'm talking to Len afterwards, and he's going, "Wow," because a bunch of the department heads who had been in Budapest for the whole shoot came up to him when the show was over and said, "Len, where'd you find a place to shoot the Jaguar? It looked great." They all thought it was real. That's why we did Underworld 2, the second one. So in pre-production, Len came out and saw the tank for the first time, and it was like, whoa, whoa. And then he saw the ships out there, and whoa, whoa. He stood out by the tank for the longest time. I mean, this is what creative people do. I've seen it before. They get quiet sometimes. And Len got real quiet. He's just thinking, he's thinking, he's thinking, he's thinking. And then he says, "Those ships you got, could we maybe make, was it yeah, he started talking about, and I said, "But if you want to use the ship in the picture, I got a ship in the picture." He went back and wrote the script and wrote more stuff in with the ship, by the way. So, but I said I could cut some distance. I think I cut 8 feet out of it. I said it'll shorten it, it'll make the beam wider, it'll be more like a normal ship, and we'll turn it into find something around 240 foot long. It'll be 6 scale. It'll really be great. You could do the whole thing. And then that's when I said, also we'll do you got helicopters, the cleaners that go out there and clean up the mess after the gang war between the werewolves and vampires take place. That the helicopter that they take off and land on the ship, we'll do it as a radio control model and just do it all live, shoot at high speed live. So everything in that Underworld is. I think there are three digital shots of helicopters that were done way down in post. I see them too. You can tell the difference. I mean, they're not bad. They're nights and they're not that long. But there were 3 shots that they needed that fell through the cracks, never got shot, because we shot full miniature things with the ship at the dock, and helicopters taking off and on, and they would composite people in on some of those shots. And then we shot a lot of blue screen stuff with the radio-controlled helicopters to fit over those aerial shots flying over mountains, and stuff at night, and knew what they were going to be composited into so we could light them properly. And then that shot with the helicopters over the castle and the explosion, it's all model stuff with the explosion and the helicopters flying around and crashing in, coming down and crashing inside. We did a whole inside model of the of that chamber, the roof where she threw the star, and she runs and it knocks the deck. That's all model too.